It's Cash Color Cannabis, a high level of conversation on LivehiphopDaily.tv, and this episode is sponsored by Bouquet Rolling Papers. Experience the smooth burn of their classic rolling papers. Bouquet understands the art of rolling is a timeless craft, so enjoy what's simply natural. Check out Bouquet today. Click the link in the description when this episode goes live and make your purchase. All right, tonight, man, I got some dope guests on the show today. I kind of wish we wasn't talking so much backstage, because I would have a funny way to introduce how I even found these dudes. But I found them actually just casually scrolling through LinkedIn, which is LinkedIn, as y'all should know, is my favorite social media platform. Like I try to do so much more on LinkedIn than I do anywhere else. But I was on LinkedIn one day and I saw an article on Business Chronicle, ATL Business Chronicle, and I'm like, they was talking about these three brothers, CannGo, had a CBD delivery company. I was like, that's dope. I read they was from Morehouse. I said, that's even doper. They in Atlanta. And my next thought was, why don't I know them? So my man Victor was actually on LinkedIn. I said, okay, let me type a message and see if I can get these dudes on here. And without further ado, I got Matthew, Victor, and Kevin, the co-founders of CannGo, here in the studio with us, man. What's up, y'all?
Hey. What's going on? What's going on?
Thanks for having us. No problem. We had some amazing conversations earlier, and I'm gonna give y'all a glimpse. We're gonna get into how CannGo got Canna founded, their background in Morehouse, and how they met each other, and why HBCUs should start teaching the business of cannabis. Without further ado, though, like I say, first of all, tell us how you all met each other in the first place.
Yeah, man, who wants to tell the story?
Oh, this might be a good story.
I got it.
Kevin got it.
So what's up, everybody? Kevin, co-founder and head of engineering here at CannGo. So pretty much the way that we met, so we were all at Morehouse, all Morehouse students, hungry, and we found out about this meeting. And the meeting pretty much was like, okay, you guys can have free pizza and the possibility of an internship opportunity. Everybody's there.
Boy, they know how to sell students, don't they? They used to sell us with credit cards. Like, like, do you need a Discover card? Come on down.
Yeah, so we all went for free pizza and everything. Then my man right here, Vic, he's like, you know, I'm an entrepreneur. I'm about to start up a business. And Mark, who is actually the CTO of the company that we were at the meeting for, called Climate Corp. Mm-hmm. He pretty much told everybody, okay, this guy Vic is doing something real big. Whoever wants to be a part of it, just go see him after the meeting. So me and Matt, you know, we were hungry. We were looking for entrepreneurship opportunities. We went up to Vic, told him, okay, we want to be a part of this. And Vic said, okay, you guys meet me at Woody tomorrow. Do you remember what time? Shoot. Okay, let's just say 5 or 6. Yeah, so he was like, meet me over here at 6. We came. We had a couple other guys, but we ended up being the nucleus of CannGo. So that's really how we started.
Dang, so you had the idea for CannGo early.
Honestly, I'm gonna be frank with you. I didn't have an idea at all. Oh, sorry. I didn't have an idea like at all. It was honestly Cap. And frankly, it was Cap, and I say it was Cap because, I'm trying to put myself onto an internship, right? So, I was coding here and there, and I was like, oh, how do I make myself stand out? I knew I wanted to start a business. I had no idea what I wanted to do. I just knew that was something I wanted to explore. So when Mark, for example, like, I guess you just took my word for it, or he was just kind of like, oh, he's doing something. And I literally was like, when they came to the meeting, I was like, oh, y'all showed up. I was like, y'all really showed up. So I was like, damn, we got to do something now,
right?
Y'all are bought in. And so we just sat down and we tried to do another business. Like, my dad's old business, but like, we had no idea what we were doing there. And then we had think tanks. So we met like once a week at like Woody at AUC. And we would just have like random ideas, and then it was actually pretty simple. Like the story really, there's a bigger story, like more impactful story, but like the story was like people were smoking weed, and people want to get access to it, and like ironically, like I'm a founder of a cannabis company. I don't smoke, but they do. They do. Yeah, they do. But what I was hearing was like a lot of my friends, like the plugs would never show up, or the quality of the like cannabis was trash, or there were so many things, and we were like, whoa, they're doing it out in Cali. Why can't we do it here? And that was just really the hypothesis. And I became really obsessed trying to figure out how can we start delivering weed here to like our AUC students, and it just became way bigger than that, honestly.
Wow.
That was it. Yeah.
We ran through all kinds of ideas like wine delivery companies.
Yeah, wine. Yeah.
We started out with electrical engineering.
Yeah,
Nobody
like-
did electrical.
Yeah, nobody knew.
engineering, so-
Yeah.
Like, we straight, we got it down.
Yeah.
I think the wine one was actually a pretty good idea too.
Drizzly.
That was part of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That's what's up, man. Yeah,
Yeah.
deliver me some liquor.
I don't know why we just stuck on cannabis.
Honestly,
Because I know you
like,
brought up wine. You said, "Yo, we should do wine," and then like
Yeah.
cannabis came up.
It was like, I mean, well, the consumption patterns are aligned. People that drink are more likely to smoke as well. And honestly, like for all the reasons he just said, I mean, we were on a college campus, and at the most fundamental level, we knew that people want weed.
Yeah.
And it was
super
like, okay,
simple.
so what can we do down here that operates within a legal market
Yeah.
that doesn't step on anybody's toes?
And that's where y'all got to the CBD part, because it's not like we. Again, I'm not gonna incriminate these young men. They deliver weed and hemp-related products.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
I mean,
that's how we landed there.
yeah.
I heard cannabis and got excited. So I was like, let's do this, guys.
This is my guy, man.
Maybe that's what it was. Maybe it's because y'all smoke. Yeah, maybe that's what it was.
Any from the Bay, so
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
I'm
yeah,
from
yeah.
Brooklyn, so I kind of been around this legalization process for a minute.
Yeah, you've seen it. Seen it.
Yeah.
Kevin's my guy right here,
They
man.
wanted to put a name to, because Kevin is the one who
Oh,
actually
yeah,
came
I
up with
came
the
up-
name
Yeah,
CannGo.
so we came up with the company idea, and then we were sitting there, and I was like, CannGo, cannabis on the go.
Yeah.
And that's
Yeah.
how we came up with the
And we
name.
were just like, yeah, that's it.
Well, you didn't have an idea in the first place, so you was like, yeah,
Hey.
let's
But he
roll.
had the acumen, though. He had the acumen,
Hey.
and that stood out to us.
Yeah.
And that's why we all wanted to come together and build this thing.
That's lit, man. That's lit, man. I love actually that story. That's way different than the stories I was reading.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And this is why podcasts exist. Like you get certain stories in Atlanta's Business Journal and
Yeah.
stuff like that, and then you come to Cash Color Canvas, you realize, man, that idea was cap. We was just and we just happened to be in a restaurant one day.
Yeah, that was it.
Two of my weed smoking
Yeah.
friends was like, "Hey, CannGo."
For sure.
Exactly.
That's what that's what it is. That's what. Well, I do like the idea of CannGo. I mean, it's not like the delivery services aren't a need and aren't actually happening in other markets, man. Matter of fact, shout out to my boy Devin out in Massachusetts with Rolling Relief. Rolling Relief is a big brand, or a growing brand out in Massachusetts right now. It's definitely a thing. But again, we talked about your market is CBD and hemp related products.
Right.
Well, again, I know why you targeted that, because that is where we are in Georgia. But when it was thinking about that, was you thinking primarily about the college students, or were you thinking about people way outside of that market?
Honestly, I mean, we were really, the reality of the situation is not too many college students probably want CBD products, right?
Hey.
So we had to operate within a legal market, but
Yeah.
we still saw that there was a large need to be met down here. There's a lot of people on Georgia's medicinal marijuana list that have no access, well over 10,000 people.
Still don't either.
Yeah,
Exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah,
funny
well,
story.
that
Still
program
don't.
Incredibly slow. But people still need access to the product, you know,
Yeah.
and a lot of these dispensaries or shops are centralized within the city. But say, for example, if somebody lives in Mableton, Conyers,
Yeah.
or somewhere far out,
Yeah.
they have no access
Yeah.
unless they want to drive 40 minutes into the city and drive out. And it's just not sustainable. We realized it wasn't sustainable.
Yeah.
And there's a much broader target audience out there that of people with qualifying needs and people that just use CBD, Delta, and hemp products. We saw these dispensaries in Atlanta. There's well over 50, so there's a market for it clearly. That was just being untapped, and we just wanted to.
Have you all, this is probably an early question for you, because I know the brand is still growing, but have you thought about trying to partner up with certain companies, like say, Georgia Hemp Company is a good friend of ours, and CBD Joint and places like that. Have you thought about tapping into some of those markets and saying, hey, we can actually feel a need for you people? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You do have customers in the Noonans out there, way farther outside the perimeter of Atlanta. Have you thought about stepping into some of them companies, some of them stores?
Yeah, no, we are, and I'm not gonna really reveal who we're kind of dealing with now, but we have some MSOs in the pipeline for sure.
Okay.
And we're successful when everybody else on the platform is successful. So if our stores are successful, our consumers are successful, and therefore we're successful as a platform. So we definitely are working. Love that Georgia hemp plug though. love that.
Shout out to Joe, man. Joe's a good dude.
Yeah. Love that plug.
Yeah, that's my guy, man. I was supposed to be hosting the green carpet at their golf tournament. I had to miss it because of the day job thing. I had to miss it, man. But I heard that was fun. And plus, there's other stores as well. Like I say, the CBD joint, also Saha CBD out in East Atlanta. Yeah, definitely. There's a lot of partnership abilities out here, especially when it comes to what you're trying to do. I think it's really a market y'all could tap. And would actually, I think people would love that. Being that, I didn't even thought about it. How many people don't live here who have to come to here to get that specifically? That's wild.
Yeah.
Building a business with one person could be a whole lot. But building a business with three people, trying to put them on the same page could be a struggle all in its own. How did the three of you decide who does what in the business, and how many times do y'all bump heads trying to do that?
We just bumped head on Friday.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, pretty often. I'm not gonna lie. Like, we do bump heads pretty often, but eventually we get to a place where we put the company first and we really think about what's gonna be best for the company. Sometimes it might take sleeping on it, but we always want to put CannGo first, and our customers are most important. So we just want to make sure we deliver the best products. But we do bump heads about like once a week or something.
Passion. It all comes from the way.
Yeah,
You know,
it really is passion.
there's things that they do that I can never do. You know, like when it comes to engineering product, I can never touch that. So it really what it came to be is just like we all notice that we're a real complementary skill set of people. We all bring, not just in a work environment, but even as far as just like when we have certain conversations. You know, Kev's normally like the level, not the, I don't want to say level-headed one, but the level-headed one. Me and Vic are very, 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 very passionate. But
like Kevin, honestly, like if it wasn't for Kevin mediating sometimes, we'd just go on forever.
Yeah, because like we'll start talking about something and then just go and go. And go.
Hey man, I'll just be trying to get out the meetings.
Our meeting was
Kevin from the Bay, man.
No, I mean, like, so ironically, it was ironic because we all had complementary skill sets.
Yeah.
And it's interesting because Kevin and I, before CannGo, him and I were like legitimately same class, same department. We never really said anything to each other, honestly. I mean, I knew you existed, and I just didn't, we just never said anything. But it was so perfect that, you had somebody who was very, I was more in the engineering end, but I was more passionate about products and operations. Kevin is really good at engineering, and like Matthew, marketing and finance wizard, honestly. This guy can tell us, the dollar that we're supposed to be projecting to make Q3 day 40, hour 3. You know what I mean? So just the fact that we met how we met, to me it was honestly destiny.
Yeah.
Just insanely how we just met, and just the fact that we all had complementary skill sets. Because like this, as I'm learning, I'm meeting other founders. This dynamic here isn't something to take for granted. And I tell them every day, how proud I am of them and how appreciative I am of them, because it's a struggle. And these are extremely talented people, and they don't need to be struggling with me. But it's like we all believe in this together. So.
Do your parents believe in it with y'all? Because again, y'all Morehouse grads. I'm pretty sure they had like better plans for you than trying to start a weed delivery service.
Yeah. So to expose myself, I dropped out of Morehouse to do this.
Say word. I dropped out of college too.
Hey, there it goes.
Hey! Stay in school.
Right.
Yeah.
Stay in school.
Yeah,
Don't drop out.
Yeah.
I told my mom. I told my mom I was dropping out of I should have said it better, but I just said it. I just told my mom I was dropping out of college. Well, first I said I'm not going back to school because I wanted to start a cannabis company. And my mom, just freaked. She
Nigerian?
Jamaican. My dad's Nigerian.
Okay, yeah.
There it is.
Yeah. Either one of them have it.
Yeah, my dad, so he was an entrepreneur, so he understood it. But, my dad, dads aren't really that emotional type stuff. So it was as long as he was, I think he just wanted to make sure that I was straight and I wouldn't be homeless. And so once he kind of figured out that I was able to figure out how to make money and stuff like that and be able to take care of myself, it was okay. But my mom, it took her a good minute to kind of come to the realization that hey, I'm not going back to school, and so that was my experience. But she was flabbergasted, to say the least.
But my mom was. I'm still to this day 6 credits short from my degree, and she'll still bring that up.
Yeah.
Because I said my last
every day.
semester, senior year, I was like, hey,
Boy.
I want to be a writer. I already know this. Like, there's really no point in me taking
Right.
my last 2 credits, Computer 101 and Health. I
Right.
said, there's really no point of me going this
Right.
extra limit when I can just go out here and be broke for a little while and figure out how to be
Right,
a writer.
exactly. My point.
100%.
My point. My point.
And also, I'm not burdened with student loan debts either. So
Exactly.
Shoot, you're lucky.
hey, I was lucky. I got a tax return recently, and I was like, yo, that was the first tax return I got in years.
Wow.
And I was like, oh, y'all finally said it's done. You're free, young man. You're free. That's what's up. So I know also that when it comes to like trying to promote a brand such as yourself, especially something young, something brand new, that's kind of more of a concept than a thing right now, social media would be the key way to do that. But social media is kind of hard for y'all to even navigate, even me for navigating, to be honest with you. Like between Instagram and Twitter, I deal with so many shadow bans, so many keywords you can't use. Like even now, like I just told you about the reels now being monetized. I just realized one of them can't be monetized because Wiz Khalifa again is portraying smoking. I just realized this. Can't do all that.
Right.
Y'all took it to TikTok.
Yeah.
I'm not a TikTok person. Like I'm not even gonna pretend I know how to navigate TikTok. But y'all took it to TikTok, and that's become kind of a major vehicle for CannGo. What made y'all pick TikTok over other platforms?
Honestly, you know what's funny? It's like, and I got to give Vic credit here.
Hey, thank
because,
you.
Like,
Appreciate it.
Because like,
Give it the college
he was
dropout
telling me
credit.
he was telling me for a while because like I'm on social media, but I'm predominantly on social media just for work. And like he was telling me for a while that Snapchat essentially is the biggest microphone. I mean, not Snapchat. I'm sorry. TikTok is essentially the biggest microphone out there as far as social media apps. And he was like, bro, like we got to get on there. We got to get on there. And I was like, all right, you know what? Eventually, I was like, all right, we're going to get on there. So we took this whole approach towards educational content primarily because that's the only thing that won't get taken down.
Yeah,
And people need the information because we realized by being a delivery service, we take away that conversation that people are able to have with these dispensary owners a lot of the time. So we try to subsidize it through educational content. And so we started creating like a bunch of videos to just to allow people to be able to associate cannabis with figures that they know. And people that they know to humanize it more, kind of crack through that stigma. And it took off in a matter of months. We went from like about 196 followers to just over 20,000.
Yo, put me on, dog, because I'm still at 100 followers on TikTok. Put me on. Like, how did y'all jump up like that? Was it the hashtags? Was it what marketing guy? Tell me.
I think it was a combination of hashtags. We stayed up to date on certain trends, like certain hot topics that were going on. Like, say, for example, when Apple made it legal for cannabis apps to be on the delivery store, to be on the App Store, and even just taking people from a bunch of different things, whether it's famous singers, favorite chefs, just famous local figures with a bunch of different audiences, and bringing them all together on our platform and on our TikTok, so that it's something there for everybody. And yeah, that's something.
That's what's up, man. So TikTok is y'all thing. So y'all be doing the TikTok, like, are y'all trending dances and stuff like that? Like, have y'all did the A Baby yet to CBD?
We don't do the dancing.
I'm not the best with that.
But it is, yeah. I feel like it's such a hard thing to do as far as actually promote on social media. Like, it just really does become a bitch. And I think that TikTok probably does work best for y'all. But again, LinkedIn is my vibe. LinkedIn, I feel like between finding people who like minds like yourself who are either in business and want to either assist in the business or learn more about the business, or people who are just actively trying to share your content because, again, this is a business platform. I'm there all day.
Yeah.
I'm there all day. Like if I want to just like have a mindless day, I'll go on Twitter. But if I just want to, actually want to do some shit, like I found y'all, I go on LinkedIn.
Yeah, LinkedIn's the spot.
No doubt. LinkedIn is the junk, man. So I know all three of y'all did go to HBCUs, man. You went to Morehouse. I know me and you college. We Kanye West
3 because I dropped out too.
Yeah.
Oh, you did too, bruh.
There it is.
I'm not encouraging this, but there seems to be a trend.
Stay in school.
Hey! Studio things. Apparently. But the thing I love about what I'm seeing right now with HBCUs and especially Morehouse, and we spoke about this a little while ago, is I feel like Morehouse is at this point creating cannabis entrepreneurs. Now, whether or not Morehouse knows it is a whole different conversation. You know what I mean? Because I know, again, we've had Dr. Hodge on the show, my man Dr. Rashawn Hodge. He's a notable name out here in these streets. But between my man Dirty with Dirty Lemonade, between Pearl Rolling Company, like I told you, I'm meeting a lot of gas station. I'm meeting a lot of folks out here in Atlanta who are Morehouse grads who have found their way into this green space. And I wondered, is this a conversation that Morehouse is actually having? Like, do you think Morehouse knows that the last couple of classes right now are leaning more towards getting into this industry versus what would be traditionally a Morehouse kind of lane? Like, I remember some of my friends when they was in Morehouse, I had my buddy, he wanted to be a diplomat. Like, I had another partner, he wanted to be like a financial advisor. Like, that was the thing, like almost traditional. Yeah. Like, I feel like y'all are leaning away from doing the traditional and going into a whole nother space. Do you see that coming like more of a trend at Morehouse or HBCUs overall?
I see it becoming a trend just in the Black community, period. I think, in the Morehouse end, I do know Morehouse School of Medicine. I was reading somewhere that I think they're piloting like a medical cannabis programs, on their campus. But, Morehouse School of Medicine and Morehouse are not like associated or affiliated.
They're just down the street from each other?
It's down the street. Yeah, I think it's like licensed thing. I don't know. Some royalty deal going on. I have no idea. But I just think that honestly, I just think it just goes with image and the brand. And I'm gonna say I don't care. Like, I just think until white institutions really start embracing this, I don't think HBCUs I don't think they're gonna take those leaps. Even though I think we should be at the forefront of this.
Facts, man.
Pushing this, and I would happily, hey, President Thomas, hey man, I'm down the street. Like, you know what I mean? I'll be more than happy to come and speak and, be a thought leader or start pushing narratives in the sense of how can we really push this, because it's like this is the next frontier. Yeah. And the reality about it is when this thing becomes it's kind of getting into Bitcoin before everyone knew it was Bitcoin, like before there was Bitcoin.
Damn, like, I wish I would have gotten in on Bitcoin.
Exactly. I mean, doesn't everybody? And so this is like cannabis is still kind of this speculative thing, but it's like when it becomes federally legal, then the real mad dash is going to happen, and it's really important for us to. And I know there are a lot. I've met a bunch of Black people for sure who are trying to get into the space, but they're struggling. Access to capital is a huge thing. Infrastructure is a huge thing. It's a massive. It's just huge. It's insane. And so, unfortunately, I think like this is an industry that has been uprooted and created by Black people, but I just think it's just white people taking, because they just have the economic power and as well as the connections and the relationships to be running and flourishing. And owning up these markets and marginalizing us even more. Because it's like, one of the weirdest things to me is like social equity in cannabis. It's like, what? What does that mean? At
this point, so many people are saying that, but when it was first happening, it was a thing. Now as we get into 2022, it's like, yo, what is this? Like,
yeah.
But I feel like, when we was talking about this off air, that I feel like any HBCU that got A&M or Tech in their name, y'all should be here. Like
I agree.
We're talking about North Carolina A&T. Matter of fact, Florida A&M does. I know Florida A&M actually is piloting. Actually has classes in their law program where they're teaching about cannabis, and they teach about cannabis laws and stuff like that. That's amazing. Right. So we're seeing some progress here and there in a couple of schools. I think I want to say Southern as well. I think Southern as well is another one. But we're seeing some of it happening, but I feel like we need to see it on a much larger scale at this point. And I think a lot of it does have to do with tradition. Like we're still, I speak often about how there's a generational thing when it comes to cannabis, especially in the Black community. Like I had mentioned, I have a nephew who's 23 and I have a niece who's 13. Their whole life has been, I just know that weed is legal and there was a Black president once. I grew up in a space where I would have told you if there was a Black president, that would have never, ever, ever, ever happened, and there's never be a day I'd be able to walk down the street and smoke a blunt.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And then my moms and them grew up in an era where all this is wrong, you know what I'm saying? And we ain't never gonna, and we all in the same household, all in the same family. Right. That's still happening, especially when it comes to HBCUs. You still have that generation, that's my mom's generation, that we're not even having this conversation, even though the kids are not just having a conversation, they're making money off it, and they're trying to figure out how to capitalize it.
It's just ingrained.
We got to figure out a middle at some point to where people understand that, you can have your opinion about whether or not this is positive or negative, but you also can't be oblivious to what's happening in your community. Like even if you are opposed to it, you should know what's happening. Like you can't pretend, you can't have the head in the sand. Like long story short.
Yeah,
I think. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, in talking about the stigma, Matt, you should touch on TikTok.
Man, all the our whole goal is like break the stigma or attack the stigma. So like speaking of TikTok, that's one of the reasons why we were able to be so successful is because we went in a lot of the stigmas that people have on cannabis, right? That it makes you unproductive and that it does all of these. There's so many stigmas on it. So we try to like go directly at a lot of those stigmas and make memeable, laughable, lighthearted content in a way that won't get us taken down, but we still resonate with our core audience base. Right. And everything we do is geared towards cracking the stigma, whether it's social media content like TikTok videos or blogs that we post on our website with educational value, and even to just how we run our social media and the messages that we try to push out through our blogs. We try to really supplement and offer a lot of educational content, and the goal is to, because we understand that knowledge is power, information is king, and a lot of people don't know. So a lot of people have these things, just not even like it's ingrained through generations, and that plays a role in it. But a lot of it is just ignorance. People don't know, and they don't know where to look, and it's overwhelming trying to find the information online sometimes. So the better way we can convey that to people in a way that still contributes to our end goal, which is just like cracking this whole stigma around cannabis and just getting people more comfortable with it. You know, like it's an herb, it's a plant, it's something that's been here long before any of us were here. It's going to be here long after we're gone. Yeah. So it's just about getting people comfortable with it and seeing it as socially acceptable, not judging people for their use of it. Because this is a product that helps improve people's lives. Yeah. We've seen that each in our personal lives, and even through just people that we've talked to, people that Vic's talked to. Yeah. Like that's what it's all about. Because this is real medicine helping real people. So.
Yeah.
I think before we move on, I wanted to mention, because you said something about it's kind of 3 gaps of gender before, it's throwing more. And so I think Elon said something which was pretty interesting about how
he's going to buy Coca-Cola so he can put cocaine in it.
I did see that.
Well, that and more or less, he was also saying that, and I agree. That thought leaders, there should be like a certain age for thought leaders, right? So it's like we talk about a lot of these older institutions, but also it's like I could say, oh, President Thomas talked to me at Morehouse, but the reality about it is President Thomas reports to his board, and so I'm sure like a lot, I don't know what the age of their board is, but I know their board is probably that older generation, right? Who honestly, probably half of them do smoke, you know what I mean? But because they're scared about their image or how it's perceived or talked about. And yeah, they have SGA, but everyone knows SGA is just kind of like a figurehead popularity type thing. So it's like, I think until we really start having this kind of proper intersections where the board is really trying to talk, really important cultural relevancy to their students and resonate, I think that's really where change will happen quicker, because it's kind of difficult. It's like kind of teaching an old dog new tricks. You know what I mean? So I think breaking that barrier, honestly, I think really starts with the board.
I think you're right.
It's more involved.
There needs to be definitely more students involved. There need to be younger blood on some of these boards, and I think that's the craziest part. I'm 40. I probably would be the younger blood.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
I'm sure you would.
Yeah, I'd be the younger blood on that board. Yeah, it's levels. You know what I'm saying? But right now, I feel like the conversation needs to happen, and we can't duck it anymore. We can't duck it in churches. You can't duck it in schools. At this point, this is being had, and you ignoring it is doing more of a disservice than anything else.
100%. Yeah.
So as we look forward and we move forward down the line, where do you see CannGo actually going? Like, do you see y'all developing more into an app service, kind of like where people can just kind of boop, 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 and then maybe somebody just kind of drops it over, almost like a drop service situation? Or where do you see the platform going as time goes on?
Well, people can boop, boop, boop right now.
Oh.
Download us on the App Store.
It's out. It's out. We're delivering.
iOS.
Yeah, we're out.
Liddy?
Yeah, it's actually out. Yeah.
Liddy?
Maybe the article that you read, maybe it was before it came out.
Yeah.
Yeah, but no, we launched in February.
That was the web-based version.
It was a web. Yeah. We launched in February. You can download it on your iPhone. We're coming to Android soon.
I was saying it's on Android? Nah.
No, I'm sorry.
Google Play is doing this, man.
Hey, man.
Google Play is that's progressive.
Yeah.
It's all good.
But I guess that's a question for me, right? Where are we gonna go?
Both of y'all, because like product And they're
I
like,
mean,
yeah,
you know,
I'm just marketing.
you know the right. the mission of CannGo is to empower cannabis commerce, right? And really, you know, you ask yourself, what does that mean? And to us, it means being the best aggregator and distributor of cannabis on the East Coast, right? We're super focused on East Coast markets: New York, Miami, Philly, you know, Richmond, DC, you know, Midwest, Chicago, you know, just all those markets. And so, you know, our hope and our impact is to be able to make access more accessible to everybody. So, you know, my mom, she, what? Oh, I'm sorry. My mom,
okay.
you know, she lost feelings in her hands. Like her hands got really swollen, and you know, people thought it was cancer. People thought it was diabetes, all these crazy things. And one day, I just told her, you know, why don't you just take some cannabis cream and, you know, topical. You know, her being an older woman, not trying to out her, but her just being older, you know, she was pretty against it until it got to a point where she was just like, you know what, let's try it. And so, you know, for 3 to 4 hours a day, she gets a sense of normalcy, you know. And so, you know, deeper than just us trying to deliver weed to, you know, our AC students, something just kind of dawned on me. I said, shoot, what happens when she runs out of cream? You know, who's going to be there for her? You know, and we saw that over 35 million people a month are going through these problems, getting a standard way of cannabis that's affordable and accessible. And, you know, we've built out a platform that's also able to support local economies. So, like, you know, Georgia Hemp or the CBD joint, you know, if you see them on there, you're like, shoot, I patronize them all the time. Let me just order from them. You know what I mean? And we built out a model that is profitable and scalable for everybody involved, and, you know, took away that Uber-esque model and took ourselves more to an Amazon approach. And so, you know, really when you talk about CannGo and the vision of it and where we're going to be, I mean, simply in one word, impactful. It's exactly what you know, our goal is to be.
That was a good sell.
Yeah.
that was a good sell. He ended it properly, right? Like in one word, impactful.
Yeah.
That was dope. That was dope, man.
Do it for.
I'm a fan. You know what I mean? Like, y'all made me a fan. Y'all are interesting people. I want to see this work. Hopefully it becomes big enough that I could possibly invest one day and be like, I was there first day. I was there first day. I got that check.
Yeah.
So, if somebody did want to follow y'all on social media, if you want to follow them on TikTok, how could they follow you? Like, what are the handles?
You can follow us at TryCannGo on TikTok, Twitter, and Instagram. That is TryCannAgo. TryCannGo. And let's be buds, as we always like to say, you know. Let's be buds.
That's what's up. And also, you can find them on Apple. Was it Apple Store?
Yeah,
on the Apple Store.
Yeah.
Not Google Play yet.
Not Google Play yet.
No.
But coming soon.
Coming soon. Coming
that's
soon.
That's what's up. That's what's up, man. Yo, I definitely appreciate you guys for coming through today, man. It was a super dope interview. Matt, Vic, Kevin, I appreciate y'all. Y'all were dope. CannGo sounds like it's a go. And I wish y'all best
I like
of
what
luck.
you did there.
I know, man.
I
Look,
like what you did there.
I'm a host, man.
I like what you did there.
I'm a host, man. So I appreciate y'all for coming through. Please kick it with our guests tonight. Well, with everybody who's in the studio tonight, man. Get a chance for them to get to know you a little bit more personal. And thank you again for coming on the show tonight.
Thank you so much.
Right, thank you for having us. Appreciate it.
No problem. And that's Cash Color Campus High Level of Conversation. And this episode is sponsored by Bouquet Rolling Papers. Make sure you follow them as well.